Now let's look at the next question. I want you guys to focus on this word called comment. Okay, so whenever you have comment in the question, you are supposed to quickly relate this to a thesis or antithesis question. Okay, so the second supporting evidence for TAT, okay, is they ask you whether cost of production is the main factor. Okay, so it has to be a main factor and it cannot be a main factor. This is a 5 marks question. Okay, so the marks distribution count carefully. Okay, so 2 marks for thesis, 2 marks for antithesis, and 1 mark for synthesis. Total of 5 marks. Okay, they ask you, okay, whether there is a change in cost of production, but they did not specify the direction of the change. Okay, so feel free to illustrate from extract 1, okay, any increase or fall in your cost of production as a thesis. Okay, so long as you can cite from the case evidence, I'll give you your thesis mark. And for your antithesis, I'm looking for anything but cost of production. Down here, okay, I have chosen a lowering of cost of production. Okay, later on, I will show you different variation. Extract 1, paragraph 3. Okay, it does suggest that over time, okay, there are better uses of a different organic harvesting technique. Okay, and remember, okay, this data is always a ratio between organic and non-organic. Okay, so if you want to justify cost of production, okay, you need to assume your non-organic to be constant. So you're isolating the effects of your organic changes. So assuming that price of your non-organic produce is constant, okay, your figure 1 shows that the gap between your price of your organic eggs and bread, okay, is getting smaller. So this suggests that, okay, there is a fall in price. Okay, so you got to illustrate that with, okay, alternate usage of practices, okay, this will lead to a fall in unit cost of production. I'm looking out for cost of production. Okay, and more units supplied, and this will lead to a fall in price of your organic produce. So identifying this, okay, if you did not assume the non-organic produce to be constant, I can close one eye because this is really a weird piece of data. But I need to see this. Okay, and illustrating how does cost of production has fallen. Okay, your antithesis, okay, you're supposed to look at other factors other than cost of production as your main factor. You can cite from the case evidence, okay, your price difference between organic carrots and milk, okay, has increased. Okay, while price difference between organic bread, okay, did not change much. Okay, so this suggests that the higher price from organic produce, it could be due to other factors, which is likely to be a demand factor. So lastly, you can build a stand. Okay, so whether is it a cost of production factor depends on the extent of the change in cost of production. There are a few more variations that you can consider. Okay, so these 2 variations tells you that there's an increase in price. Number 1, okay, your organic feed, okay, has to be certified organic, okay, and have to be grown organically. Therefore, it's going to be more costly. Okay, our organic feed has been short in supply for the past few years, okay, which is going to drive up the cost of production. Okay, and if you cite the antithesis, you can cite another factor. Okay, so you can talk about the assumption just now that we have used is non-organic food remains status quo. Okay, but what happens if this is due to a change in the price of your non-organic food itself? Okay, so the data itself is actually questionable because it largely relies on your non-organic food to be the same.